Why it matters that you live at zero frequency. The mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it's open. Frank Zappa. Humanity is experiencing different types of upheavals and calamities. Tsunamis, earthquakes, fires, floods, air crashes, economic crisis, racism, endangered ecosystems, the threat of rising sea levels, human trafficking, the drug epidemic, crime, sexual offenses, terrorist attacks. They ultimately tells us only one thing. This is the moment to wake up. We must realize that these circumstances are here to help us take responsibility, change and let go of the memories replaying in our minds so we can set ourselves, our communities, and the planet free. The change begins with us. If we do not realize this, life is going to become more and more difficult. The universe is going to hit us harder and harder every time. The tragedy is that we are asleep. How many more catastrophes have to happen? And how many more people have to lose their lives before we wake up? We are so powerful that we can actually destroy everything if we continue to believe that peace on earth is not possible. The world is unstable and unhappiness is normal. It's a normal part of life. Sometimes I set the example of Jesus of Nazareth. He stood up to the temple because he recognized the power, control, and manipulation exerted by the temple's priesthood over their people. After his death, what did we do? We created temples in his name. We did not understand any of his powerful messages. My youngest son once told me, Mom, you know what I was thinking? If Jesus came back, he would die when he saw what we did in his name. We are living in an important era of evolution and great changes, and now modern ways of thinking no longer serve us. We keep telling our children that they are irresponsible if they don't worry. We tell them that they are stupid if they don't think and use their heads. Wake up. That doesn't work. Consciousness is the only way to bring peace to the world. This begins with each of us becoming happy. If you are conscious, your heart is at peace, not at war. Across the planet, people are waking up to the realization that what used to work no longer does. There is a search for different ways of living. Minds are opening to new possibilities. More and more people realize that they don't know as much as they thought they did. Hopefully, they will not resist these realizations. You know, life is hard because we resist. We resist everything. We make things so much harder for ourselves. In a special meditation at an ashram in India, we had to wheel counterclockwise for 45 minutes. If you did not fall down after wheeling, you had to let your body fall to the ground. Guess what I found out? If you do not try to plan the landing in advance, so that means you don't control, think, or resist, you land softly. The floor absorbs you gently and naturally. When I allow myself to fall in this way, I felt blending. When I allow myself to fall in this way, I felt blending with the earth, thinking about it. Think about it. Sorry. When children fall, they fall in a relaxed way. They don't try to control the fall. They don't go against it, nor they try to protect themselves. They do not resist. Joseph Campbell said, if you are falling, dive. We are in a free fall into the future. We do not know where we are going. Things are changing so fast, And always when you are going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along. All you have to do to transform your hell into a paradise is to turn your fall into a voluntary act. It is a very interesting shift of perspective, and that's all it is. Joyful participation in the sorrows, and everything changes. See, what makes things more difficult for us is that we are resisting. That means thinking, worrying all the time. We are going against the flow. In the times in which we are living, we cannot afford to resist anymore. A new paradigm is upon us in nearly all aspects of life, from science to education to business and even to our climate. We are realizing that what used to work doesn't work anymore. This is why it is crucial that we practice connecting to zero. Now, more than ever, the planet needs us to be our true selves, free from fear, memories, negativity, and perceived limitations. The universe is calling on all of us to connect with our real identity and go to zero. For in this limitless, innocent, joyful state, we can rise to the occasion and heal the world. As the world wills, allow yourself to fall into the new paradigm. Embrace it and blend with the earth. Do not resist. Go with the flow. Trust the uncertain. Remember, what you resist persists. Do not worry. Do not be afraid. What is coming is better and greater. All thinking gives way to new. In his best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey explained the term paradigm shift was introduced by Thomas Kuhn in his highly influential landmark book, The Structure of Scientific Revolutions. Kuhn shows how almost every significant breakthrough in the field of scientific endeavor is first a break with tradition, with all ways of thinking, with all paradigms. He goes on to say, our paradigms are the way we see the world or circumstances, not in terms of our visual sense of sight, but in terms of perceiving, understanding, and interpreting. Paradigms are inseparable from character. Being is seen in the human dimension. And what we see is highly interrelated to what we are. We cannot go very far to change our seeing without simultaneously changing our being, and vice versa. Science is now realizing that many theories, interpretation, and assumptions were wrong or incomplete. One of the pioneers insisting on the need to educate our young people based on different values and principles is Greg Braden. He graduated from the University of Montana with a BA in geology. This expert in computer systems and researcher of consciousness stresses that we will not be able to solve our problems and challenges based on the old ways of thinking. So that the education systems must, once and for all, embrace the new trends. Slowly and surely, people are realizing that what a crazy society we have created. We put people in boxes and convert them into ordinary, normal human beings, and they don't behave or think, or if they don't behave accordingly and think accordingly, we medicate them. Aldous Huxley said, the tendency of the masses is towards mediocrity. Keep focused, keep moving. Do not allow other people's opinion to influence you and make you doubt what your instincts tell you. Are you willing to say yes to your gut feelings, even if it means being different? This year I spoke before 1,200 high school students in Puebla, Mexico. I was impressed by how they listened to me attentively for 90 minutes. At the end, I asked who wanted to share, ask a question or comment. I was shocked at how many of them came to the stage to share how they related to the message. I'm grateful for the opportunity that God gives me to share with young people. I want to reach as many of them as I can with my message so that they can be happy now. While writing this book, I spoke at several high schools in Mexico and Spain, and I had more attention from them than I expected. The students share stories and great testimonies and really enjoy working, and I really enjoy working with them. This is something that remember in my Mount Shasta trip came up that I got the message loud and clear for me and for everybody that I had to work with young people more. Yeah, that I had to concentrate on working with young people more. In Malaga, Spain, I presented in a high school that some of the more problematic students attend, including some who were expelled from other schools. At the end of my presentation, one student asked me, "And how long does it take to get to zero?" He was so sweet and sincere. He spoke from his heart. He really wanted to know how to live at zero now. I really wanted to hug him. I told him, how fast you get to zero is all up to you. You decide moment by moment. You can be happy now. Young people are more ready for the new paradigm than you think. And many of them already practice some aspects of what you have learned in this book. They already come with different chips, different perceptions, and they are much more open-minded. Many of them don't have to be told to think out of the box. They are waiting for us. This is why I wrote a children's book, The Easiest Way to Grow. The children for children 3 to 100 years old. We adults need it as much as children. In a companion audio to the book, I compiled all the messages that changed my life. We shouldn't have our children go through what we went through, only to find out 40 years later that they have wasted their lives. I think it is very important for our kids to be happy now. Thank God a lot of people are reconsidering and are looking at unschooling and homeschooling their kids. Many kids who've been given such alternative education are now giving amazing talks on the internet. When you have a moment, look at Logan's LaPlante's TEDx University of Nevada talk on how homeschooling makes them happy people. Spirituality is the foundation. A seminar organizer in Japan once asked me why I had not mentioned that my seminars had a spiritual component. I said, if I did that, no one in US would hire me. The organizer replied, in Japan, we wouldn't hire you unless we knew your seminars had a spiritual component. Because in Japan, we know that the foundation of a successful business is spirituality. This is essential. Spirituality is basic and very important. If you remember, I discovered this myself when I was still an accountant, and I started my journey into what was still very new to me, the spiritual world. We had a student in California who used to talk to inanimate objects. She was an accountant, and one day came to the training and told me that she had quit her job at the accounting firm and would open a flower shop. My first question, my intellect still works very well, was, but Christine, do you know anything about flowers? And she said, no, but I just know I have to do that. The next training, she came and shared with all of us, saying, well, I go to the flower market with my list of orders, but when I get there, I ask the flowers, who is coming with me? And I see the flowers raising their hands. Who is coming, raising their hands? I compare them with my list and notice some that I don't have listed, but I trust and I buy them anyway. As I walk back into the shop, the phone is ringing. I pick up, and the person on the line is asking for those exact flowers that were not on my list but raised their hands. This may sound far-fetched, but it is very real for Christine. Why not trust your own instincts? Why not trust your own truth? Do you really need a 5-year plan to achieve happiness and abundance? To pursue what interests you, your passions? Do you really need a college degree first? There are really no rules, and your reality is your reality. There are always innovative ideas available. You just have to know how to recognize and channel these ideas. In this way, as we see, even people with disabilities can find a stimulating role in society. For example, as of 2017, 80% of autistic adults were unemployed, and yet many autistic people are highly intelligent with the skills that some industries look for in new hires. Qualities such as attention to detail and creative thinking. In new paradigm, tech companies such as Microsoft, IBM, and Hewlett-Packard have seen the value in creating hiring programs for autistic people. These initiatives have also changed the work dynamic for the other people in a positive way. Do you see how, when we appreciate the best in each of us, we can move toward a more sustainable and humane society? This is the new paradigm, and you have a part to play in it. Important part. Happiness in the workplace. The World Happiness Report is a landmark survey of the state of global happiness as is usually released by the United Nations at an event celebrating the International Day of Happiness. The report continues to gain global recognition as governments, organizations, and civil societies increasingly use happiness indicators to inform their policy-making decisions. In addition to these rankings, this year's report includes an analysis of happiness in the workplace. It is universally accepted that employees are the backbone of any organization. However, a no less respected source than the Harvard Business Journal acknowledges that happy employees at all levels of hierarchy are more motivated, productive, and committed. In the new era we are entering, we are seeing that many businesses are going bankrupt. They are not profitable. Something in them does not work, just as many of our lives do not work. Again, will we continue to make the same choices, expecting different results? We have to open our minds as individuals and as companies and create businesses that are in accordance with the new times. And today, the factor of happiness can no longer be ignored. Happiness in alliance with our individual talents constitutes the pillar of the new companies and the new world. This shows us also how important it is that we become happy parents, because happy parents raise happy children, and happy children build happy businesses. Happy businesses don't go bankrupt. One of the most attended classes at Harvard is a class that offers insight into the secret to happiness, Psychology 1504, or Positive Psychology, has become the most popular course on campus. And at the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Martin Seligman talks about authentic happiness. He introduces the scientific foundations of positive psychology and key research findings that lead to a revolutionary understanding of what makes people flourish. In this new paradigm, happiness must be our natural state. This is why it matters that you get to zero. Yes, you. When you flourish, others follow, and peace and abundance become our global experience. Your place in the new era. As I said earlier in this chapter, everything is changing. In this new paradigm, the universe is calling on you to adapt to these changes, to become more flexible with your thinking and your views. The good news is you now know exactly how to do that. When you live in zero frequency, staying open to new ideas and possibilities come naturally to you. And you are at home in the new paradigm. In fact, you thrive in the new paradigm. In this book, I have shared many ways to connect to zero. This is the easy way to let go of all paradigms in your mind and in your daily life, to raise to the occasion and make the most of the shift that is happening around the world. Continuous change is a law of the universe, and it reminds us that all of our circumstances are temporary. This means that whatever challenges we face today can be resolved. There is always a new opportunity for growth, for joy, and for peace. You are 100% responsible of your own happiness, abundance, and success. When you accept the responsibility and connect to zero every day, you will not only change your life, you will change the world. So, so this was written a long time ago, but finished 1 year ago. Would you say this is talking to us for what we are going through right now? Isn't it amazing? No wonder it made it to #1 bestseller. My first #1 bestseller. Don't forget that I'm a self-published author. I mean, I was surprised that it got to #1 bestseller in Spanish. Yeah, but in English even more. But it's because of you, yeah, that bought the book to support me and to support you. Hopefully, you are enjoying it and getting something valuable from it. But God is in the plan. Is God's book. It's not my book. It's God talking to us, really. I mean, and humbly, very humbly. I know most of you that are here knows me, yes. So, but I'm very proud. I'm proud, and I'm happy to be still committed, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. Okay, but the most important is that we don't engage. So anyway, one of the things that I decided to create because of people commenting on the book and everything is next Sunday we are gonna meet for 2 hours, and we are gonna discuss some of the chapters. We are gonna receive inspiration, the cleaning, always present, yeah, as you know. And we'll be able to maybe practice. We'll see. I don't know really, because it's not something that I'm planning and programming, yes? So, or I will plan or program as I go this week, I don't know. But the idea is that definitely is to receive inspiration. The idea is to receive the cleaning, the blessings that always come in our gatherings. And the idea is to be able to take zero frequency to the next level, yeah? And to be able to be more at zero, but that right now is imperative. It's imperative that we don't engage with the fear, okay? So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna read now to you. So last week, what happened was that I received something about Ascension that had to do very much with information that came to me from different sources and sources that I trust, that resonate with me. And the same you have to do. You have to do what resonates with you, and whatever you discard, okay? You disregard. So I share with you, by the way, I'm gonna check, Instagram is working okay. I don't know how we are doing. Okay, we are still here because since I'm reading from the computer today. Okay, so um, so last week I received something in Spanish, and I said, "Wonderful! This has to do with what I know, and this is a way of sharing it with my people." And then, based on what I received in Spanish, I went to Google and I searched for some of the information that was coming, in that Spanish paper, and I found it. And I thought it was the same. But then as I read it to you last week, I realized it had much more information than the one that I gave to in the Spanish class. So what I did is now I translated to English what I shared with the Spaniards last week, and I shared in my class before what I shared with you guys in English. I share it today in the Spanish class. Yeah. So I'm gonna read what I read to them last week, and I want to make something very clear. We are at the point of a huge change in many ways. And maybe before we see the light, the tunnel will get darker. We don't know. The realization is that nobody knows. Okay? So they are giving to us some parts, some information, but nobody has the whole information. Okay? But this is something that we know is going to happen. There will be natural disasters. There will be a solar flash. But at that moment, whatever happened, there will be riots, there will be a lot of things. Okay? It could be another pandemic. Everything could happen. But at the same time, this is our time for ascension too. We are preparing for ascension. And it's very, very important that we don't engage. Okay? That we don't engage with the fear. So no matter what happens, if the day gets night, or something, you stay home. If people goes on the streets to complain and to kill themselves, you just stay home. Okay? Praying, connecting with source, holding God's hand, no matter what happens. Okay? So this is the most important thing. And again, we don't know how it's gonna happen. Okay? If you start seeing UFO or something, you keep praying, and you don't think it's an invasion or anything. You say thank you. Okay? So no matter what happens, okay? And if you didn't listen or watch my live from last week, it's in my channel in YouTube, because I think this is precedent. There are a lot of things that maybe I'm not mentioning because I mentioned it last week. So maybe you want to watch that one too. Yeah. And I offer, and many of you wrote to support at mabelkatz.com asking for the Ascension information and ask for the Robert Kennedy Jr. information, that I don't want to read it to you because that's all the things you need to know that are that are really happening. But I don't want my channel to be closed. There is no free speech, freedom of speech right now. Okay, for truth. Whatever the others, yeah. Oh yeah, you can talk about how bad things are, and the amount of death and all the stuff. Oh, that is available. That's permissible. No, that is okay. Okay, but sharing truth is not. So a lot of channels are going down and things like that for sharing truth. Okay, so I'm gonna read this, that I don't even remember what I read. Okay, for the Spanish guys. But again, you had a more complete event or different things. So go and review last week's live, okay? Okay, so how will our ascension on planet Earth be? And again, nobody knows, nobody has all the information, but you have to know that there are a lot of people working for our freedom, for the freedom, to liberate humanity, because we thought we were we were so naive, we were so programmed, we were so like, oh, this is normal life, oh, this is what life is all about, and we were totally naive of how controlled we were and how we were really prisoners, and control. But the thing is, now the control wants to go. How would you say, all force, or I don't know, I cannot find the way, full force, okay? And it will be on your face, yeah, when you will be marked. Okay, that's it on that. Okay, it will start suddenly, without warning. Many scandals that will, many scandals will that will reveal the real background on how the system works will shake the human masses. Okay, there will be a lot of chaos when the truth will come out. Okay, but you have to, okay, no matter what happens, okay, you cannot engage, you cannot be part of that. You have to be with the light, and you have to know that you are protected. Revelations will be made on how the international mega energy enterprises made billions by selling oil, avoiding free energy inventions to reach the public. A lot of things have been hiding from us. A lot of technologies that are available have been hiding from us. The ET information is being hiding from us because it's a way of maintaining our self-control. Okay? Because that means that we don't know who we are, or we don't know that we are not from here, and that our families are in other galaxies, yeah, our real families. Okay, disclosures about pharmaceutical trusts making money with healing diseases that spread with viruses created in hidden labs. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe the translation is not a perfect one that you can understand, yes? Because I thought I checked it, the translation that somebody did, but these revelations about efficient cures for AIDS, cancer, and other diseases which had been known for quite some time, but unknown to the human masses. And about the world media and censorships, which is a logical consequence of the fact that very few people own most of the well-known companies in newspapers, media, and telecommunications. So there are a few that are manipulating us through news, thinking that we have true information, real information, and that we've been believing them. And finally, revelations about a secret world government that has the most prominent politicians as their puppets, and that has generated benefits from wars and human suffering during millennia. A small group of beings you work for, where you are hired, and you voluntarily give them a significant amount of your monthly salary. When list of names backed by facts are known, human masses will emerge. When the facts about what's happening on the stock market and where the money really goes are known, this will create the collapsing of the global market and a fall in the current monetary system. But nothing to worry about, because again, a lot of people are behind us, okay? And they are the ones that are bringing all this to light for our own benefit, for our liberation, okay? There is a war, there is a Star Wars right now. And there are a lot of people and beings that are defending us and everything, but we have to do our part. And we have free choice. So if we want to choose hell, we can choose hell. No problem. We are free. I hope not. Okay. The riots will begin as a result of the emotional energy release that has been repressed for so long. But you are not going to be part of that. Yes? You are going to stay cleaning. In the chaos of those days, members of the resistance movement will show humanity and guide and give guidance and support. That's when the good guys will show up. Okay, but also the plans of the riots, the revelations, the people complaining, the masses out there that don't come from the light. Okay, that's why we cannot be part of that. It's not good. We need to trust the plan, and we have to keep praying and bringing light. We have to wake up and bring light. Okay, they will penetrate the surface from their underground realms and bring the technology that will help humanity overcome those critical moments. So the solutions are here. They are not showing us, sure, okay? Because still we are in war. That will cure most of the diseases currently known with their own medications, with their free energy sources. They will end the global energy crisis and stop environmental pollution. Because the clean technologies are here, but they are forbidden to us. They will bring information that will open people's eyes. Finally, people will realize that they will have been quarantined for millennia. We were in quarantine before, we didn't know. The money will disappear and be replaced for an exchange of goods based on the vibratory economy. The resistance movement will help establish a new world government that will be chosen by humanity with its free will and guided by humanity based on the galactic core principles. Okay, nothing to worry about. That's the most important. You don't have to believe me. You might think I'm talking bull, but the most important here is that you don't engage with whatever happens, catastrophes, whatever, riots, whatever happens. You are not part of that. You are part of the light. And you trust, and you trust, and you trust. And you do your part, that is cleaning, is letting go and letting God. Okay? Because your thoughts, everything will change for us. Our bodies, our consciousness will become conscious suddenly. We will not think suddenly. We will communicate telepathically suddenly. And we don't know. It could be really soon or not, but we don't know. But whatever happens, since we are practicing, we are at peace no matter what. Okay, moment by moment. Okay, at that point, the planet's energy field will be significantly cleaned up. The memories of Atlantis will return to people and begin to create a new Atlantis, a new civilization of light. The buildings will be built in a combination of Atlantean and modern architecture that will be in harmony with nature. Many will be in a pyramidal or semi-spherical form. Spiritually developed individuals will begin to gather in New Age communities called Islands of Light. Everyone there will follow their vision, aligned with the divine plan in deep connection with the universe. When people release the past, everyone will experience mental clarity, emotional vitality, and physical health. The basic cell of society in the Islands of Light will not be a family of personalities, father, mother, and children, but a family of souls, soulmates, and other members of a soul family. I want you to know that one of the things that I heard also is that we will not remember. So some of you are crying because maybe the family is not awakened or something like that. But don't worry, because whatever is right is going to happen. You work on yourself, you do your part, and that will help the family, even if it doesn't look like. But one of the things that will happen is it might be, and nobody knows, and I don't know, okay? But one of the things they are saying is that we will not remember this lifetime. Like when we were born here, and we don't remember other lifetime, and we think this is it. So we are going to be changed, and we will not remember maybe that we had kids or anything. Okay, but I don't know anything. Okay, I just want you to know that what is coming is good, even if it doesn't look like that. There is a blessing here, a big blessing here, and we are going to be part of it. And I don't know anything. Okay. People will connect energetically and telepathically with angels, guides, and aliens. A physical connection will be established through the islands of light between the planet's surface and extraterrestrial civilization. There will be teleportation chambers on islands of light where it will be possible to travel within the resistant movement for some people in the Atlantean network and also to the Pleiadian motherships. When the light network is strong and stable, this will allow the mass landing of Pleiadian spacecraft. The Pleiadians will help humanity during its transition to the new age and with the process of accepting this planet to the Galactic Confederation. Columns of energy will anchor, which will guide planet Earth through its transformation during its entry into the intersection of the tachyon belt. When the critical mass of consciousness is achieved, the first wave of ascension will occur. The motherships of the Galactic Confederation will fly like bright white clouds over the islands of light, where teleportation rays will descend and take volunteers to the motherships. Those volunteers will soon reappear on Earth in an ascended state, in their bodies of rainbow light. And many of you know that this is true. Soon after, a lot of people know about the rainbow body. Soon after, another critical mass will be achieved, and the second wave of ascension will occur. The masses of ascended masters who will return to Earth will prepare mankind for the third wave of ascension and the evacuation. Great planetary cataclysms will then begin as a cleansing of the physical matter of the planet. At the time, the most intense cataclysm, a polar change will occur. We know, and this is scientific, the Earth has to change poles, have to rotate, because that was something that it was done on purpose, okay, to rotate the poles, so we would be ignorant and will not know who we are or the power we have. At the time of the most intense, a polar change will occur that will trigger the third wave of ascension with final evacuation. Linear time, as we know it, will end, and the Earth will enter a new, higher dimension. So again, we don't know what is going to happen, but it's going to be wonderful. And still we are in the tunnel, and we still have to hold God's hand. And still, when the fear or the worry comes and says, thank you, but I'm busy. I have work to do. I have important work to do. Okay. So how many of you think I went crazy? Raise your hand. So these are exciting times, guys. And I hope you trust. I hope you realize how important you are in these times, how important it is that you chose to be here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for being part of people that wants this change, this positive change on Earth, and how we are helping for Earth to do what it has to do. But we have to be in our hearts. We have to know we are protected. That there is nothing we need to worry about. Okay, that we have an amazing family in the stars that are, praying for us, helping us, being there for us, guided by God too. One of the questions that my oldest son asked me when these conversations come up, I says, okay, so yeah, I believe in extraterrestrial, but what do they say about God? He asked me. I said, and his wife answered for me. He said, they believe in God. Yeah, they believe in God. They know who they are. They all talk about God. What happened is we are totally asleep. We were mind, we are under such mind control that we don't know. But thank God we woke up. Thank you for waking up. And I hope you keep going and don't worry about the family. Don't worry about the ones that are, you do your part. Okay? And that's helping everybody. Okay? Remember, everybody has free choice. Well, I love you guys. And I'm going to end with a piece of eye. Please keep cleaning. Please keep cleaning. Okay? I love you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up in my life. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for your trust. The peace of I. Peace be with you. All my peace. The peace that is I. The peace that is I am. The peace for always. For always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you. My peace I live with you. Not the world's peace, but only my peace. The peace of I. Please keep cleaning. Keep trusting. Be yourself. Love yourself. Trust yourself. Love you. You have all the answers inside of yourself. Bye.